What's up, guys? So today's video is more directed towards people in Lake Canny Valley and in Twine. Most of the time people will already know which to choose between Obsidian and Shadowshard, but for the people who are in Canny, in Plankerton, if they ever get up here, you'll know which one to choose when you actually do get the ability to make a weapon 4 stars. So I literally just got another Hydra from the store. This is in the event items. So I'd pick this up. It was actually half off too. It's only like 800 gold. So this is literally one of my favorite weapons, and as you can see, I leveled it all the way up to 106 and maxed every single perk. These are the base perks. You can change them if you want. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is because I like the current loadout. So the main difference, let's go ahead and compare real quick. All of the perks are the same, so the only difference is one is Shadowshard, one is Obsidian. Now, just looking at the straight numbers, DPS isn't a really good indication of the effectiveness of a weapon. I'll get to that in a second. But right now, if you go Shadowshard, you get a significant damage increase at the cost, and you get impact, a little bit of impact. It's kind of negligible, but your fire rate and durability is the only thing it costs you, and all of a sudden, also you have to use quartz crystal and Shadowshard crystal instead of obsidian and blast powder, but that isn't really that big a deal. Most of the time when you're in Twine doing missions regularly, you shouldn't run out of any of these items anyways. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna let you know, 9 times out of 10 for weapons, just put them Shadowshard, because unless only make like 1 or 2 into obsidian like I did. I made my Hydra. The only other obsidian gun I have is the Bobcat. That's it. The only reason I made this obsidian is like just in the off chance that I run out of Shadowshard, I'll be able to have another 106 weapon. I made this 106 and obsidian before I got this Hydra, so in retrospect maybe I should have just made this Bobcat Shadowshard, but whatever, it's not that big a deal. It's not a huge difference. Some people, like one of my favorite streamers, Sly Gumby, just straight up hate Obsidian. He made his Bobcat Obsidian, never touched it ever again because he messed up. So some people are like that. Some people only go Shadowshard no matter what, which it's not a bad option. It's most likely, as I said, 9 times out of 10, maybe even more, it's going to be the better option in terms of your damage. Now, especially guns that you will one-shot most things, like a Hydra, you're gonna one-shot most mini husks. The only thing you won't one-shot are mist monsters and husky husks. But if you get a crit, which is 38% chance, you will most likely one-shot a husky husk. But for items where you're one-shotting, like this, the bald eagle, you always want to go Shadowshard to give you the best opportunity to one-shot. That's it. It gives you more damage on your first shot, or on any shot really, but it gives you more damage on your first shot to potentially just destroy mist monsters. So you definitely wouldn't want to make the bald eagle obsidian, but maybe like a siege breaker, something that shoots really fast, you might want to make it obsidian just to have a really good obsidian gun. But most of the time you're gonna want to go Shadowshard. It's almost always going to be the better option. Now, let's go over the numbers. DPS wise, it's only, what, 4,000 difference here. I'm gonna get out the old trusty calculator here. Let's just do the calculation real quick. So, we just gotta do 52,404.9 divided by 48,492.4. The difference is only 8. You're only getting an 8% damage increase. 8% is not insignificant. I don't want to make it sound like that. It's a decent bump up. So that's more most guns. If you get a gun and make it Obsidian over Shadowshard, it's going to be an 8 to 9 sometimes 10% damage increase. It realistically varies on your perks. But the reason why I don't like this damage indicator, all this DPS shows is your damage multiplied by your fire rate. Look, let's just do that real quick. So 19,397 times 2.5. 48,492, give or take a tenth of a damage. That's pretty negligible. That's all they do. They don't factor in this crit chance and crit damage at all. And obviously, if you're making headshots, that's going to increase your DPS even more. But making the headshot damage factor into this, that's probably not feasible, because you can't tell how many headshots you'll hit or what percentage of headshots the average person will hit. But let's go ahead and factor this. So this is the way I like to factor DPS. I like to introduce the critical hit chance and crit damage into the weapon. So let's do 1.85, or wait, delete 1.85, because that's the multiplier. 185% is 1.85 times 0.38, which is the chance. So on average, this is if you have perfect RNG, no better, no worse. So you just multiply this. Oh wait, add 1 first to give you the base damage. Then multiply it by your actual DPS, which is 48,492. So this is your effective DPS if you calculate the crit chance. That's obviously a lot higher than 48, but I hate the way they calculate damage. It's honestly stupid. They should calculate the RNG factor in, but they don't. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyways, you could do this to any gun. Just divide this by, or multiply it by the crit chance, and multiply that, or add 1, multiply that by your DPS. So it'll give you your actual DPS if you factor in the crits. So that's just the way they calculate DPS. It's just damage by fire rate. You could do it with this, you could do it with it, you could do it with literally any gun, and you'll get the same result. But the way they do it, I just don't like. But kind of rambling. So I hope that gives you, leave comments down below if you are confused about this at all. Shadowshard, most of the time, gonna be better than Obsidian. And DPS wise, it doesn't factor in whether or not you'll get the materials, although if you're in Twine, you will most likely have the materials and then some. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of the time, just go Shadowshard. If you don't know, ask me. I'll probably tell you to go Shadowshard, because almost all the time you're gonna want to go Shadowshard, unless you're like me and you have 2 Hydras that you just feel like maxing out everything, so you can do a video on which is better, Obsidian or Shadowshard. Obviously, if I had 1 Hydra, I would go Shadowshard. I would not go Obsidian, but because I had 2, I had the luxury of doing both. So yeah, anyways, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Should be in a couple days. I'm going to do it about which perks are for which gun to maximize DPS, or I don't know. We'll see. I'm doing a little bit of thinking about it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.